a lot of people out here believe if you build it, they will come. And that's not how it works. You have to bust your ass. You have to be real to the music. You have to take care of your producer and your engineer and your bandmates. You have to put in the time with live performances. You have to build your audience. You have to like have a proper product. You have a proper look. But at the time I was like, oh, if I record this song, we're gonna get signed. And then, it's like what everybody thinks being in a band is. We hadn't even toured yet. And I'm thinking, yeah, Mike's gonna hear this and he's gonna just sign us like it's the 80s. And then we're set. And that's not how it is.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy at GhostCultMag.com. I'm super stoked to be joined for the first time ever by Brendan from the Nocturnal Affair. How are you doing?
How you doing? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, Las Vegas based. Are you from Las Vegas proper?
Originally I'm from Boston.
No shit. I lived in Boston for a long time. It's wild that we have never met. When did you grow up there?
In Vegas, which is why I can pronounce my R's. Wicked smart over here. And spent a lot of summers back east, a lot of winters, holidays, bar mitzvahs, funerals, weddings. You know how it goes. Quinceañeras.
Nice. All the important things. Yeah, I did like 11 years in New England and 10 in Boston, and I changed my life for the better. They hated my sports teams. I'm a New Yorker, so they hated my guts. It's like I was the bad luck charm from New York. I moved there, and then everybody started winning.
Boston started. They're like, please don't leave. Please.
Please don't leave. And also everybody back home is like, what the fuck? Why did you do this to us? I was like, I did it to me.
Please also don't leave. Stay there.
Yeah, please don't. Yeah, stay there. Don't come back. But no, they welcomed me back. And I went back to New York before moving to California. And I two-time BU graduate. Even BU won the Frozen Four when I was there. I was like, holy shit. Like everybody was winning from 2000.
What did you go to university for?
Marketing and advertising, which is what I do. I do some of it in the music world and some of it in the corporate world. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, Boston was really good to me. We still have a big contingent of Boston fans and staff. So I'm a big supporter of the area. And then Vegas is fun. I think there's a side of Vegas as a resident that people don't ever see, like the regular life. I know a lot of music people have moved out there. Corey Pierce from God Forbid's a friend, and I know he's super happy out there.
Oh, Corey.
Yeah.
I got to meet Corey. He's a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of either East Coast or LA people have migrated to Vegas. So super interested in that. But let's talk about the band. This is our first time meeting. You guys have a brand new single out today as we talk, which is a banger. It's a cover of Hathaway's What Is Love. This song, dun, 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 everybody knows.
Yep.
And it's a bop. I don't know why it hasn't been done before as a metal song. Occasionally, like danceable songs do translate as covers for rock and metal. And you guys just ripped it. And I love it so much. And we can start here. I do want to backtrack and hear about the history of the band, but like, it's so much fun. And for the summertime, this is kind of like the joy we need right now in this absolute shitstorm of 2025. Why the cover and just obviously timed, you have a big tour coming up, but like what a fun cover to do.
It was originally, I thought it was a terrible idea. It was another member of the band at the time who brought it up as an idea to just party on the Jericho cruise. So we've been on the Jericho cruise like 50 times. I know there's only like 6 cruises, but we've been on there like 50 times. And they pretty much were like, when you come back on for this one, it was like our 3rd or 4th time. They're like, bring some boat songs. You're on a cruise, man. It doesn't have to be exactly like Yachtly Crew, Yacht Rock, but like do something fun. And so, one of the band members was like, well, I've kind of got this version of What Is Love. And when the team got a hold of it, they started ripping it apart and putting it back together like Frankenstein's monster, and kind of we all started forming it to what it is now. But we played it on that ship and people went nuts. Like, it wasn't just like some people were like bobbing their head and they're like, oh, this band's it. It was everybody was coming from each wing and, the hallways, and everybody was just loving the song. And we were like, maybe we should play this on tour. So when we would play it on tour, it went from, you're winning the crowd over while they're getting to know you, to the entire room is singing the song and jumping and going crazy, and just like everyone's bonding, everyone's having a great time together and smiling. The guys that were like looking at you like this while their girlfriends were rocking out because we got beautiful long-haired men in the, at the front of our stage. Suddenly they're like all having a good time and not worried about that. So we had to do it, man. We had no choice.
That's amazing. And sometimes you get proven wrong, and it's a good thing.
Oh yeah, you know what?
That's
I
band
love
life.
proven wrong like that. You know what I mean? It's how you grow. It's how you learn.
Oh, you sure you're from Boston? You love to be proven wrong? No, I'm kidding. I kid. I jest. Everybody knows. I'm from New York. I love being right, so I know. Anywho, but yeah, what a bop and such a great choice. And I think it's a lot of fun. And hopefully it just like introduces you to new people who might not have checked you out, or then they will check you out and be like, holy shit, these guys have some bangers. And couple of years since the last record, but you've been putting out a series of singles. I know that's kind of the prevailing wisdom right now for the industry. It's so hard to cut through. I checked out your Spotify and your other streaming areas. You have a nice following there. Are you guys working your way toward a brand new album at this point with all these singles in a row, or you're not sure?
We've got an EP in the works. I've got a few ideas for some other things as well, but as far as a full album, I don't know. And if I do know, I can't say.
Copy. Not allowed to say. There's nobody off camera pointing a gun at our guy here, Brendan. But yeah, I just think it's really blink twice if you're in danger. We'll all blink together, everybody watching on YouTube and everywhere else, listening on podcasts. But yeah, just, it's such a crazy time. And we're up against so much. I know everybody's hearing about this AI band that has 1 million followers, and they're just completely made up, like, generative AI doing a metal band, a rock and hard metal band. Like, I just don't, I still want real.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's inevitable, unfortunately, the whole AI world, music, art. So I think is AI will never copy the human aspect of music. I believe it will get very, very close, right? But at the end of the day, even when before AI, computers have been recreating musical instruments, guitar tones, drum tones, drum beats, and as good as they can get, you can still tell that it's not a real person, or it's not a real amp. It's not a real Soldano being, plugged into a cab, mic'd and reamped. And so I think it's not as doom and gloom as most people think it is. I think we're going to be okay. Maybe, cross your fingers, but who knows?
It could also be Terminator. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? At least that's exciting, right? We get to shoot.
Well, it'd be interesting to see for about 24 hours, and then we'd be fucked. But I also don't. There's a marketing expert that I really like, and he gave an interview recently that was mostly about social media. But he was like, the stuff in AI. First of all, like most of what we have that we call AI is just machine learning that we've had for years. Corrective text and texting and Messenger and things like that. Email, Lightroom hacks, Photoshop for all my artist nerds, DAWs for music producers, all kinds of things. Where it's going to go that we don't know, the uncharted AI is super exciting. Like where it can go is great, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. Some of the stuff right now, it seems very faddish because people are just jumping on it. Oh my God, AI. And maybe we need to sort of promote caution. And I am also a person, I want real artwork. I want real bands. I want real videos. I acknowledge that the cost of everything is escalating, and a DIY or underground band is really hard to make it. And so every leg up you can use is fine. And some people who are very reputable musicians, it's just too cost prohibitive for them to put out content, that word again, unless you get help. So I'm not totally against it. I just think I don't want to see real music and real artists get screwed because people are just well, I'll just go to AI for it.
Yeah, it's the genuine versus the ingenuine. In that sense, I can understand, and I agree with you.
Right.
But I'm also very supportive of bands that maybe don't have the budget for the level of art that they could get from, say, the guy that does the stuff for Sleep Token, right? And we've seen all of that beautiful black and gold and just amazing CGI and various other things. You know what I mean? The visualizers when you watch their music videos or whatever. But I can get it. Because I've been an artist that's been there, and I want the best, but can't afford the best sometimes.
Yeah, like Deaf Heaven has a new record, out, and they put out a short film for their 7-minute song. That's kind of the centerpiece of the record. It was directed by like an acclaimed guy who was at like Cannes and Sundance. Like AI can't do that. Like AI cannot do that. It looked like Fellini, right, that did it. Like it was insane. I couldn't believe the high quality of it. So like, I get it. I get it.
It's
Everybody
like
and it,
Rammstein did their recent video for Deutschland, and it's just that huge. It's
oh
like
yes.
a small movie.
Yeah, it is a mini movie. Yeah, it's epic.
Yeah.
Rammstein always does the craziest shit. But yeah, tell me a little bit about the band. Let's dial it back for a second. We have the now covered. How did you guys form? If someone discovered you today, what would you tell them about you? Here's where we came from. Here's who we are. Here's where we're going.
Well, I mean, do you want the long story or you want the cliff notes?
Let's get the long story. We got time.
The band was originally a joke goth rock band, and not a joke as in I take the genre as a joke. It was more so as I didn't take myself seriously with it. I was in a metal band that I thought was going to go all the way, and I was just bored one day scrolling through social media, and I saw some very close friends of mine had been on a camping trip, and they posted if somebody had caught a photo of the three of them walking into a body of water at the same time. They were perfectly lined up. Their feet were moving all at the same foot was moving forward. And I was like, that looks like an album cover. So I kind of made a mock-up album cover for funnies in our group chat. And I was like, yo, congratulations on the record release. And I called the band The Feels. Like, oh, you got me right in the feels. And because they're walking into the water, I called it Ripples. Just like the cheesiest thing in the world. And everybody was laughing. They're like, all right, Brendan, like what would a song from this band sound like? And in like an hour or two, I wrote a quick song, in GarageBand, and I sent it. And I pretty much did like the simplistic chord change of like Nirvana with like the voice of Peter Steele and, 69 Eyes and the specifically Dracula from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, when he's like, just when I thought things were going to get better. And just for fun. And I send this demo over. Fuck you, this is good. And I was like, no, it's a joke. They're like, this sounds like Typo Negative. And I'm like, I don't know. That's what this band would sound like. And they were like, you should make a few more. So I made a few more. And one of my buddies goes, Comp does that thing every Sunday in Vegas where they play bands from Vegas. You should promote it. And I was like, it's going to take attention away from my metal band. And they were like, well, be anonymous. So I create this fake anonymous goth rock band where I lie and I say it's band members from all over the world, including the UK, Australia, all have come together in sadness for whatever, just as ridiculous as I could get. Next thing you know, Comp is playing it every Sunday going, we don't know who these guys are, but this is the feels. And out of nowhere, I get a message on our Facebook page, which had 3 followers, my friends that fucking inspired me to do this. And it's the booking agent from House of Blues, the talent buyer. And he goes, I don't know who you guys are, but I've got this event coming up with the Duran Duran Tribute Act, and Amazon has bought out Las Vegas's House of Blues. It's going to be a whole thing. It's a corporate event, completely sold out. There's going to be over 2,000 people there. We need an opener for this Duran Duran Tribute Act, and we think you'd be perfect. And I was like, and I knew the guy at the time. I was like, dude, it's me from this other band. We're not a real band. Like, we're just a joke band. This is a whole thing. I wanted to see how far I could go. And it's kind of a secret that it's me. And he goes, cool. So if you don't find a band and play this for me, I'm now going to tell Comp 92.3 and everybody else that it's you. And I was like, reasonable. So I grabbed my metal band. I taught them the songs. We put on hoods and wigs and fishnets and everything. And we played in front of over 2,000 people for our first show at the House of Blues. And we didn't have any merch. We had about 4 originals and 2 covers. And I got off stage and we were bum rushed. We were like, they were like, oh my God, do you guys have merch? This is amazing. Where can we find you? Are you going on tour? Where are you from? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, we don't actually. Thank you. And the rest of my band from my other got so jealous. They're like, why aren't you getting gigs like this for us? Why aren't people reacting like this to our music? What's going on? This, and that. And I was like, all right, I'll leave it alone. It's fine. We'll focus on the metal music. But I kind of got like, I got that hunger. I got that fire again. I was like, okay, maybe this is it. So I started putting the band together, like secretly. And we started rehearsing at night when, I was rehearsing with the other band. And I eventually found us a manager. And I eventually found us, an agent in Vegas, at least, starting to get us different shows. And I didn't know how to tell the metal band I was in. It was almost like I was like cheating on them. And one night, the guitar player showed up with the bass player to we had a 24-hour lockout studio that I was using. We're in the middle of rehearsing, full band, and the guitar player and bassist come in the room because they stop by the studio to smoke a joint, and they catch me practicing with my goth band. And they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, is there something wrong with us? Do you not like playing with us? Are they better than us? Like, it was like I got caught cheating. And so that's where the name The Nocturnal Affair spawned.
That's amazing. Oh my God. You can't make that up.
It was still really cheeky, like 69 Eyes meets like Sisters of Mercy, Peter.
I felt all the beats in that going, deep diving the whole
I gotta play some old. I'll send you some old demos where it's just like it's very clearly recorded in my bedroom, and I'm smiling the whole time I'm singing because I'm trying not to. And we have a song. I don't know if it's still on our socials and streaming services, but it's called Quiver. And that's kind of when we were in that era, but kind of also when we were stepping into. You've got something here. I was at a festival in Seattle supporting my buddy John. So John Moyer from Disturbed is pretty much our main producer. And he works on all of the music with me. He helps me rearrange a lot of things for the consumer's perspective. And he's got a great ear for songwriting, production, sound designing, etc. And we were in Seattle. He was playing the Painting the Grass Festival. And this just happened to be another situation where I was there with the metal band I was in. We were playing the Hemp Fest, and David Draymond stopped by the green room afterwards. Jeff Tate from Queensryche was there. Benjamin from Breaking Benjamin was there. And everybody just got really high. I don't think Ben smoked, but Moyer was kind of joking. He's like, hey, Brendan thinks he's a producer and he's in a goth rock band now. And so he played the demos, and the whole team there was like, oh, you've got something here. Like, you'd be really stupid if you didn't pursue this. And they set it up right in front of my metal band, who's sitting off to the side, drinking and looking at me like, you motherfucker, like, what the hell? Like, they're the redheaded stepchild. And so that's kind of when I was like, all right, maybe we'll try something. And I went through it. You're getting the long story. Here we go. I don't think I've told anybody the whole thing. I went through a divorce, and it crippled me emotionally. Like, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to see friends. I didn't want to see family. And my late friend, Ryan White Maloney, who passed away earlier this year, rest in peace, man. He called me and he goes, hey, you're coming down to the studio. I don't care what you have to say. I will come get you. I will come drag you out of bed. You're coming to the studio. And he did. He came and he got me. I probably didn't shower in days. And he shoved me in the vocal booth. And he made me sit. He was like, what's your latest song with this band? I love this band. We're going to figure this out. And I played him Quiver in its demo form. And he goes, okay, we're making this real. Like, it's time. Like, enough people have told you to do this. Wake the fuck up. Let's go. And he brought out the best of me in that studio session, and he really started, getting me in the right mindset to make something of it. And without me knowing, he sent the demo to Century Media, to Mike Gitter, and was like, hey, check this band out. They're brand new. And Mike was like, yo, what the fuck? Where did these guys come from? Before realizing that we were totally brand new, totally just like a kind of a passion project. But Ryan White Maloney was like one of the people that single-handedly pushed us forward into becoming the Nocturnal Affair, becoming a real thing. So, and then from there, what every other band does to get where they are later.
Hard work. Thank you for sharing and unpacking all that. Sorry for your loss, number one.
I yapped so much.
No, I let you. I'm usually the one that doesn't stop talking on all my shit. Believe me, I'm so thrilled to hear from somebody else. And my producer will thank you in spades, because absolutely, I just never shut up. And my mom once said that she loved me until I learned to talk. So, I got it. I get it, everybody. I get it. This is what I do. This ever since, till I'm dead. But yeah, sorry for your loss. And again, nobody's in a relationship. Anybody in a bad relationship, it sucks immediately when it's over. Then it's a lot better.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you shouldn't be with someone you're not right for, or they're not right for you. And then anecdotally, Gitter is amazing. I'm a huge fan. We used to trade emails. How many bands did he put on the map? He
Oh,
was a
dude,
scene guy with a zine way back in the day, Triple X scene.
he's a walking piece of history. That man, it's so funny because when I was such a spoiled brat when this band started, perspective has changed so much on this journey. And when I started, I had the mentality of every local musician. Vegas music is kind of an interesting monster. A lot of people believe they are entitled to success no matter what they've done, which to me is a little pompous, and it's kind of disrespectful to everybody who's actually out there working their fucking asses off and successful for a reason, right? A lot of people out here believe if you build it, they will come, and that's not how it works. You have to bust your ass. You have to be real to the music. You have to take care of your producer and your engineer and your bandmates. You have to put in the time with live performances. You have to build your audience. You have to have a proper product. You have a proper look. But at the time, I was like, oh, if I record this song, we're gonna get signed. And then, it's like what everybody thinks being in a band is. We hadn't even toured yet. And I'm thinking, yeah, Mike's gonna hear this and he's gonna just sign us like it's the 80s. And then we're set. And that's not how it is. But he caught interest in us immediately. He came out here a couple times to watch some rehearsals. And what I love about him is how honest he is no matter what. He doesn't give a fuck if it upsets you. He doesn't give a fuck if it doesn't. And he told me in 2017, we were barely a year old as a band and only had a few songs, never been on tour. I'd never been on tour in general. And he goes, look, man, the music is good. You have a lot of potential. Stop skipping steps. You need to do this for real. And I didn't get it at the time. And I was like, well, he just wasted our time and didn't sign us and fucking whatever. I don't need you. I'll do whatever I want. And but then I got to work and I learned the hard way that you cannot skip steps. You have to do it right. You can't just drop a song and think, oh, here it is. We're getting famous now. That's how it works. It's not even close to it. So Mike was very sobering as somebody who was introduced to us. I'm glad he was introduced to us early in our career.
Right on. I'm glad. And it's important to get that perspective. I have heard that Vegas is kind of like the new LA right now, or Chicago or New York in terms of a lot of bands. And it is interesting. I know Count Vamped is getting sold, but apparently still being kept as a venue. Unsure about the future there. I know live, there's no shortage of places to play live there. And I have been to many of them and had a great time. And I do think it's like probably most big cities, it's going through a transformation, right? Constantly evolving. But do you feel like there's a bit of a community scene there in Vegas? Are there other bands you feel close to, assuming your ex band doesn't have a hit out on you?
So, I mean, dude, it's 2025 now. I started writing demos for this band in 2015. So this is 10 years ago. I mean, the whole thing at the Seattle Festival happened in 2016. You know what I mean? So it's been a long time since. The drummer for my old metal band is actually in a punk band now called At Odds, and they just got signed to a subsidiary of Virgin. He's happier than ever. He's got a beautiful family. He's doing well. We're like brothers. We've known each other since we were very young. And the rest of the guys are doing fine. I'm sure there's no chip on their shoulders. You know what I mean? It's a long time ago. Yeah, the community in Vegas is interesting because you have some people who are sour because their band isn't doing well. And so they blame everybody else. And they go, Vegas has no music scene. Vegas sucks. Vegas is this, Vegas that. And then you have the artists that go and they support other local artists and they put out good music. Not because they're just good songwriters, but because they work with the proper producers. They work with the right, other musicians that can listen and they can think critically about their art and they can take advice and they can build as artists. So they start building a fan base and they start doing well. So they start playing the casinos like Red Rock, every other Friday. And I mean, one of my favorite bands that I watch bring a community together every time they play, there's two of them. There's Smashing Alice. They're like some of the kings of covers in Vegas if you want like new metal and hard rock and various other things. But then there's this other band that kind of just plays whatever the fuck they want. And they're called Bootylicious Deluxe. And they get together and it's to me, it's the same energy as, have you ever seen Yachtly Crew? When I saw Yachtly Crew for the first time, it was a bunch of people sweating and half drunk, walking into a venue, looking like they were like, whatever, I'm here, I'm around a lot of people. And then as soon as Yachtly started, it was like I was watching an 80s movie come alive and everybody was happy and dancing, and maybe like a little too happy, like there was something in the water. But and this is what Bootylicious Deluxe does. Every time I see them at the Sand Dollar on Spring Mountain, people just lose their mind. They get out of their table and they dance in front of the stage like they're bewitched by the music. It's such a great time. If you want to see a good community of music in Vegas, you have plenty of opportunity. And then there's another guy named Kenny Davidson. He plays at a casino called the Tuscany, which kind of they have a room called the Copa Room. They've actually kind of taken on the torch from Vamps, and there's going to be a lot of Vamp bands starting to play there instead now. But Kenny does this like cabaret, I think every Friday, every other Friday, where he gets people from major Vegas shows, musicals, various crooners, and just amazing artists all around to come in and just sing everything and anything. I mean, he's even had me in there to do some of like my original work that hasn't been released just for fun. So there are a lot of people working their asses off to support musicians in this town. And if you look hard enough, and you work hard enough.
Right on. I often always say that one of the passports for great singers is Vegas, and people don't realize also the level of musicians and musicianship in Vegas productions that are not typically for metal fans, but they're still awesome. And so the list is numerous. I know Nilly was just playing with from Death Clock, was just in the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson show, and she does like a feature once a month. Nilly Brosh.
You said from Death Clock?
Yeah, Nilly Brosh, the shredding guitar player,
was in
Cirque du Soleil. Yeah, the Michael Jackson one.
That's awesome.
And then her social media is rad because she'll show herself in costume and then not in costume.
Oh, what? So wait, I didn't know she was in Death Clock.
Yeah, she's in Death Clock. Yeah, she was on their last album and she toured with them the last couple of years.
I hate to be this guy, but I never looked at who the band was.
Of course. It's also hard to see them.
But it's like, to me, it would have ruined Disney magic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would have stopped imagining, Nathan Explosion and Squiskar and Toki. So that's cool, man. That's
so really cool. So cool. So let's fast forward to now. You have this huge tour, great new single, huge opportunity to go to Europe. And I want you to talk a little bit about, we've covered both of those bands, Wednesday 13 and Drowning Pool. We've covered so much here at Ghost Cult, and we're huge Wednesdays. Wednesday is one of our biggest interviews actually ever, like a top 10 interview in terms of views and stuff. So we're grateful to them, and a new great album out right now. Near Death Experience, right? And tell us about that tour. What are you looking forward to for that?
I'm looking forward to touring with our type of people, as far as that whole spooky realm into the darker rock side of things. We've been cutting our teeth for the last 4 or 5 years with Fozzy, and we love Fozzy. And Fozzy's really shown us how to be professional, how to tour right. They've been such a positive. I don't know, just everything they've done for us has really helped us grow to become the band we are today. They helped us take off our training wheels, I guess, as you could say, as a touring band. But we're ready to start, playing to an audience that isn't. Now, I love wrestling and I love wrestling fans, but that's kind of all who we've been playing to for the last few years. We've gotten a few other shows here and there. So it's going to be Wednesday 13's people is like my people. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to Wednesday's music and Murder Dolls and various other things like that. So it's like, I was the goth kid in high school, and I still am at heart, which is why this band started as a joke goth rock band. So it's going to be good to look, from the stage and see a bunch of people dressed like how I want to dress all the time. Aside from that, Drowning Pool was a staple probably at every party that I had been to since I was a preteen. You know what I mean? Somebody puts on the music, no matter where it is, no matter who it is. Bodies usually always somehow gets it going. So it's going to be very interesting to have them be the reason why we are seeing mainland Europe for the first time. Very excited about that.
Amazing. I'm excited for you. What do you need to take with you to maintain touring is tough enough, and now you're going overseas with different outlet plugs and driving on the wrong side of the road or the right side of the road if we're wrong, and food different, but I mean probably amazing. What are you excited about individually outside of the playing and touring aspect, like in terms of the day to day?
I'm just, to be honest, the food over there treats me a lot better. I don't know what's in it or what's not in it, I guess, compared to our food out here in America. But I always come back like 5 pounds lighter, feeling amazing. My skin is cleared up. You know what I mean? I can actually drink milk over there. I'm a little lactose intolerant over here, but over there I'll have like 3 cappuccinos a day. I'm fine. Generally though, the toilets in the UK are all the size of airplane toilets. Have you been to the UK before?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Smallest toilets I've ever seen.
Smallest hotel rooms, smallest everything.
They just don't care about urinals. They'll put them directly next to each other with no wall in between, sometimes in the round. And you're like, and you see people just peeing next to each other. And I'm like, I think I'm going to just go outside by that tree. Like,
there was a trough in Manchester, like a trough. I was like, all right, cool. I ride my horse in here and let him also drink.
I saw that too at one of our, was it Manchester? We played a venue with Alien Ale Farm. And I mean, it was there were 3 stories. The place was packed. There were thousands of people. And I go to the bathroom and the venue's beautiful. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful, like up-to-date modern venues I've been to. And it's a fucking line of troughs. Just like it was just these fucking metal holes up from the ground. And it wasn't just like one. It was like 3. I mean, the bathroom was huge. They spent plenty of money on it. They could have just put real urinals in, but it was like, nah, man.
Yeah. Just yeah. Hey, you know what? We are the traitors to them, and they were first, and we're just following. Sorry, don't spit up your drink. We're just following along. As my friends say every 4th of July, Happy Independence Day, traitors. And as we wind this down, obviously you're going to go on this awesome tour and come back. And you've got this banging single. Can we expect more new music by the end of the year? Are you allowed to share that or not?
Oh yeah, we've got a ton more.
Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm working on more as we speak. So
nice.
Yeah.
More people. I hope more people check out your band as a result of the tour and the new single. And I always like to end these with a wild card question. So I wanted to know for you, what is the last good movie you saw?
Last good movie I saw. I'm trying to remember the last time I watched a new movie, right? Because I've got those usuals that I play in the background. So does it matter? Does it matter if it's a personal favorite? Does it matter?
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Sometimes, all the time. I like to Godfather 1 and 2. It's like they're the best. I consider them one single movie. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're just playing in the background. Sometimes I put them on purpose. But to be honest with you, I can't think of the last time I sat down and watched a new movie, which I'm going to this Friday. I'm going to go see the new Superman. I'm excited.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the new Superman looks good. Fantastic Four looks good. And if you like horror movies, allow me to recommend Sinners. That's my favorite movie of the year so far.
Really? I heard
incredible. Incredibly done, incredibly well done. I want Ryan Coogler to make all my horror movies now with Michael B. Yeah.
I did see a new movie recently. A friend of mine recommended it to me, and I forget the name of it, but it's a Disney film. And it's very much, it circulates around the subject of Dungeons and Dragons. Without saying it's about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I remember the name. It's an animated film. Somebody told me I should watch it, and I loved it because I love D&D. I'm a huge nerd with that stuff. So when I'm not on tour, I'm usually in a campaign that one of my buddies is DMing. So
amazing. Good to hear. All right, keep it going. Keep that flame of nerdiness going through your whole life. It never leaves you. It's not a phase, Mom.
It inspires a lot more songs than you think. We've got this song called Beyond the Wall of Sleep, and that's actually inspired from I played a D20 tabletop version of a game called Call of Cthulhu, and it's all like H.P. Lovecraft inspired Dungeons and Dragons. So
all the references, all the things. Brendan, super cool to meet you. Congrats on the new single and the upcoming tour. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll link everything in the description where everybody can find your stuff. And Keep it going, man. We'll be looking out for you in the future. We'll do another one of these and we'll catch up on some other things.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out.